March 12, 1961. Paramount Studios. 16-year-old Jenny Martinez was Marilyn's new assistant. First day, a producer cornered her in his office. Touched her. She froze. Then Marilyn opened the door. What happened in the next 3 minutes ended his 20-year career and created Hollywood's first harassment policy. March 12, Monday morning, 9 a.m., Paramount Studios, Hollywood, California. Jenny Martinez, 16 years old, walked down the corridor. Not a school corridor, a film studio corridor. And she was terrified. Today was her first day as Marilyn Monroe's personal assistant. Part-time, after school, weekends. Jenny didn't come from money. Her father worked in a factory. Her mother cleaned houses. She needed to work. And being Marilyn Monroe's assistant, beyond a dream. But here she was, first day, and her heart was pounding. Jenny? A voice came. She turned. Marilyn Monroe stood there. Actually, Marilyn Monroe. Miss Monroe. Marilyn. Marilyn smiled. Just call me Marilyn. Ready? Jenny nodded. Couldn't speak. Don't be nervous. Everyone's nervous on their first day. Look, I was nervous my first day in Hollywood. 1946. I was 20. Went home crying. Jenny smiled, relaxing slightly. That's it. Now come on. Let me show you what you'll do. The first 2 hours were wonderful. Marilyn was kind, patient, showed Jenny everything. How to organize Marilyn's schedule, how to sort mail, how to take phone calls, which people were important. Most important rule, Marilyn said, if you ever feel unsafe, tell me. Immediately. Always. Deal? Jenny nodded. Deal. Promise? Promise. At 11:30, Marilyn went to a meeting with directors, script reading. Jenny, you stay here. I'll be back in an hour. If you need anything, find Pat. She's my publicist. Office down the hall. Okay. Marilyn left. Jenny sat at the desk, alone. In Marilyn Monroe's office, she looked around, pinched herself. This was real. Then the phone rang. Hello, Miss Monroe's office. Hi, is this Jenny? Male voice, older, authority in it. Yes, this is Harold Bronson. I'm a producer here at Paramount. I work with Marilyn on several projects. Oh, hello, Mr. Bronson. Listen, I need you to bring me some documents. Marilyn's contract files. I'm in Building C, Office 14. Can you bring them? Jenny hesitated. I'm not sure where. Just ask someone. It's important. Studio business. Marilyn would want you to help. Okay, I'll find them. Great. See you in 5 minutes. Building C, Office 14. He hung up. Jenny looked around, found a filing cabinet, contract files, grabbed them, headed to Building C. What Jenny didn't know, Harold Bronson wasn't a producer. He was an assistant producer, low level, and he had a reputation, a dark reputation, for targeting young women, especially new hires, especially girls who didn't know better. And Jenny was about to walk into his trap. Building C was quieter, fewer people, older building. Jenny found Office 14, knocked. Come in. She opened the door. Harold Bronson sat behind a desk, mid-40s, balding, overweight, smile that didn't reach his eyes. Ah, Jenny, come in, come in. Close the door. Jenny stepped inside, left the door open slightly. I said close the door. Confidential studio business. Jenny hesitated, but he was a producer. She closed it. Good. Now, let me see those files. Jenny handed them over. Harold flipped through them, slowly, too slowly. Sit down. I should get back. I said sit down. His voice changed, harder. Jenny sat. Something felt wrong. Harold came around the desk, stood too close. You know, Jenny, you're very pretty. Jenny's stomach dropped. Thank you. I should teach you how things work. His hand touched her shoulder. Jenny froze. Mr. Bronson, just relax. His hand moved to her neck, then her hair. Jenny's brain screamed, move, run, but her body wouldn't respond. Frozen. This is what they meant, fight or flight. But there was a third option nobody talked about. Freeze. And Jenny was frozen. Harold's other hand reached for her waist. You're so tense. Let me help you relax. The door burst open. Marilyn Monroe stood there, and her face. Jenny had never seen anything like it. Not movie star Marilyn. Not sexy Marilyn. Not soft Marilyn. This was warrior Marilyn. Harold Bronson had made a critical mistake. He'd assumed Marilyn wouldn't notice, wouldn't care, wouldn't act. He was wrong on all 3 counts. And in the next 180 seconds, his entire world would collapse. Get your hands off her. Marilyn's voice was ice, sharp, absolute. Harold jumped back. Marilyn, I I said get your hands off her. Jenny scrambled up, ran to Marilyn. Marilyn pulled her behind her, protective, shielding. Are you okay? Marilyn asked Jenny, her voice soft now, concerned. Jenny nodded, shaking, tears starting. Marilyn turned back to Harold. The fury returned. You disgusting piece of garbage. Marilyn, you're misunderstanding. Am I? Then explain. Explain why your hands were on a 16-year-old girl. Explain why the door was closed. Explain why she looks terrified. Harold's face went pale. I was just showing her. Shut up. Do you think I'm stupid? Do you think I don't know exactly what you were doing? Marilyn stepped forward. Harold backed up. I know men like you, Harold. I've known them my whole life. Men who think power gives them the right to touch, to take, to violate. Marilyn, you never what? You never touched her. I saw you. You never closed the door. It was closed. You never made her uncomfortable. Look at her. Jenny was crying, shaking. She's 16 years old. Harold, 16. She's a child. And you're a predator. Harold's expression changed, from defensive to calculating. Marilyn, you need to be careful with accusations like that. Defamation, slander. I have lawyers. Marilyn laughed. Cold, dangerous. Lawyers. You think lawyers scare me? I've dealt with studio heads, producers, directors, men more powerful than you could ever dream of being. And I'm still here. Where do you think you'll be? She pulled out a small notebook from her purse, started writing. What are you doing? Harold asked. Taking notes, date, time, location, what I witnessed, what Jenny will tell me, and then I'm going to security, and then I'm going to the police, and then I'm going to every newspaper in Los Angeles. Harold's face went white. You can't. Watch me. Marilyn went to the door, opened it, shouted down the hall. Security. I need security in Building C, Office 14. Now, she turned back to Harold. You're done. Not just at Paramount. In Hollywood. I will personally make sure every studio, every production company, every director knows what you are. Marilyn, please, please, please. Did Jenny say please? Did she beg you to stop? 2 security guards arrived. Miss Monroe? This man, Marilyn pointed at Harold, just sexually assaulted my 16-year-old assistant. I want him removed from this lot immediately, and I want the police called. Harold panicked. That's not true. She's lying. One of the guards looked at Jenny, crying, shaking, then at Harold, sweating, guilty. Mr. Bronson, we're going to need you to come with us. I'm not going anywhere. I work here. I have rights. Marilyn stepped very close to Harold, looked him in the eyes. You had rights. Past tense. Now you have nothing. Because I'm going to take everything from you. Your job, your reputation, your career, and I'm going to make sure everyone knows why. She turned to the guards. Get him out of my sight. They escorted Harold out. He was yelling, threatening, promising lawsuits. Marilyn didn't care. She turned to Jenny, knelt down. Jenny, look at me. Jenny looked up, tears streaming. You did nothing wrong. Do you hear me? Nothing. This is not your fault. But I went to his office. He lied to you. He manipulated you. That's what predators do. None of this is your fault. I froze. I couldn't move. That's normal. It's called tonic immobility. It's a survival response. Your brain was protecting you. You did nothing wrong. Jenny collapsed into Marilyn's arms, sobbing. Marilyn held her, tight, protective. I've got you. You're safe now. I promise. But Marilyn wasn't done. Because removing Harold from the lot wasn't enough. She wanted justice. Real justice. And over the next 48 hours, Marilyn Monroe would do something that had never been done in Hollywood history. March 13, 1961. The next day, Marilyn sat in the office of Frank Freeman, head of Paramount Studios, most powerful man on the lot. Miss Monroe, I understand there was an incident yesterday. An incident. A sexual assault, Mr. Freeman. Let's use the correct words. Freeman shifted uncomfortably. Harold Bronson says it was a misunderstanding. Harold Bronson is a liar. And I have a witness. A 16-year-old girl who is traumatized. Miss Monroe, accusations like this are complicated. Mr. Bronson has been with Paramount for 15 years. He's worked on 30 films. He has a reputation. Yes, a reputation for targeting young women. I've been asking around. Want to know what I found? Marilyn pulled out her notebook. Flipped pages. 1956. Production assistant. 18 years old. Complained about Bronson. Complaint dismissed. She was fired 2 weeks later. 1957. Script supervisor. 22 years old. Reported inappropriate touching. Complaint dismissed. She quit. 1958. Makeup assistant. 19 years old. Said Bronson cornered her. Complaint dismissed. She was blacklisted. 1959. 2 more complaints. Both dismissed. Marilyn looked up. 5 women, Mr. Freeman. 5. All ignored. All silenced. And yesterday he tried to make it 6. Freeman was silent. The difference this time, Marilyn continued. This time he went after MY assistant. And I don't ignore. I don't dismiss. I axe T. Miss Monroe, what do you want? I want Harold Bronson fired. Immediately.
I want a formal investigation. I want the 5 women compensated. And I want Paramount to create a policy, a real policy, for reporting harassment, with consequences. Freeman laughed. Miss Monroe, that's not how Hollywood works. Then change how Hollywood works, because if you don't, I will. Is that a threat? It's a promise. I have reporters on speed dial. The story is ready. Paramount protects sexual predator, ignores 6 victims. How do you think that headline will affect your box office? Freeman's jaw tightened. You're blackmailing me. I'm protecting women. If you want to call that blackmail, fine. But let me be clear. I will burn this studio to the ground before I let another girl be hurt. Silence. Freeman made a calculation. Marilyn Monroe's star power versus Harold Bronson's 15 years. Easy math. Bronson will be terminated effective immediately. And the investigation, I'll hire an outside investigator. And the 5 women, they'll be compensated. And the policy. Freeman sighed. I'll draft a policy. No, we'll draft a policy. Together. I want input. I want it strong. I want it enforceable. Freeman realized he had no choice. Fine. Marilyn stood. One more thing. What? Jenny Martinez, my assistant. She keeps her job. Full protection. If anyone retaliates against her, I'll know, and you'll regret it. Freeman nodded. Marilyn left. But the story spread. And what happened next shocked Hollywood. Because Marilyn didn't stop at Paramount. She went to every studio and demanded the same thing. March 20th, Quintus, 1 week after the incident. Variety headline. Paramount creates first formal harassment policy. Monroe leads charge. The article detailed. Compensation for the victims. New policy. New policy. Confidential reporting hotline. Independent investigation. Zero tolerance. Hollywood was shocked. Not because it was needed. Everyone knew it was needed. But because someone actually did it. And that someone was Marilyn Monroe. Within 2 weeks, March 22, MGM announces similar policy. March 25, Warner Brothers follows. March 28, 20th Century Fox implements protections. April 2, Universal creates reporting system. All within 3 weeks. Why? Because Marilyn went to each one personally and made them an offer they couldn't refuse. Protect women, or I'll never work for you again. In 1961, Marilyn Monroe was the biggest star in Hollywood. Her films made millions. Studios needed her, so they listened. But Marilyn did more. She created a fund, the Jenny Fund, for young women in Hollywood who experienced harassment, paid for therapy, legal fees, lost wages if they were fired for reporting. Started with $50,000 of her own money. By end of 1961, $200,000, all donated by industry members who'd been inspired. And Jenny Martinez, she stayed as Marilyn's assistant for the next year, until Marilyn died in 1962. But Jenny never forgot what Marilyn did, and neither did Hollywood, because 60 years later, Jenny Martinez, now 76 years old, finally told her story, and what she revealed changed how the world remembered Marilyn Monroe forever. Jenny Martinez, 76 years old, interviewed for documentary, Marilyn, the Protector.
Mrs. Martinez, you were Marilyn Monroe's assistant for 1 year, but most people don't know that story. Jenny nodded, tears already forming, because I didn't tell it, for 60 years. Why not? Because Marilyn asked me not to. She said, this isn't about me, it's about you, your healing, your safety. Don't make it a story. But now you're telling it, because the world needs to know. Marilyn wasn't just beautiful. She was fierce, she was protective, she was my hero. Jenny pulled out a letter, yellowed, folded carefully. Marilyn wrote me this, the day after the incident. She read, Dear Jenny, yesterday was not your fault. Say it out loud. It was not my fault. Because it wasn't. Men like Harold Bronson exist because we let them. Because we stay quiet. Because we're afraid. But I'm not afraid. And I won't let you be hurt. You are strong. You are brave. You are worthy of respect. And if anyone ever makes you feel otherwise, you tell me, and I will end them. Love, Marilyn. Jenny looked at the camera, crying. She meant it. She ended him. Harold Bronson never worked in Hollywood again. He tried. But Marilyn's word spread. Don't hire him. He's a predator. And nobody did. What happened to him? He left Hollywood, moved to Arizona, worked car sales, died in 1985, alone, forgotten. And Marilyn died 1 year later, August 1962. But she protected me, until the end, made sure I was safe, made sure I had support. What did she teach you? Jenny paused, thinking. She taught me that power isn't about fame, it's about protection. It's about using whatever you have to shield people who can't shield themselves. And you've done that. Jenny smiled. I became a therapist, specializing in trauma, sexual assault survivors. For 40 years, I've helped over 2,000 women. Because of Marilyn. Because of Marilyn. The documentary premiered, 50 million views in 1 week. And suddenly, everyone was talking about Marilyn Monroe. Not her beauty, not her films, her courage, her protection, her fierceness. Apologue, the policy. Today, every major entertainment company has harassment policies, hotlines, independent investigations, protections for whistleblowers. It's standard now, but it started in 1961 with Marilyn Monroe and Jenny Martinez. In 2017, the Me Too movement erupted. Harvey Weinstein, countless other predators exposed, and researchers traced the lineage. Where did workplace harassment policies begin? Paramount Studios. Marilyn Monroe, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, created an award in 2020, the Marilyn Monroe Protection Award, given to individuals who protect vulnerable members of the entertainment industry. First recipient, Jenny Martinez. In her speech, Jenny said, "Marilyn Monroe saved my life when I was 16, not just from Bronson, from a lifetime of trauma, from silence, from shame. She showed me, you don't have to accept abuse, you can fight, you can win. And because of her, I spent 40 years helping others fight, helping others win." Marilyn died in 1962, but her protection lives on, in every policy, in every hotline, in every survivor who speaks up. That's not fame, that's immortality. Today at Paramount Studios, Building C has a plaque. In this building, March 12, 1961, Marilyn Monroe protected 16-year-old Jenny Martinez from assault and changed Hollywood forever. If anyone makes you feel unsafe, tell me, and I will end them. Marilyn Monroe, protection, courage, justice. March 12, 1961. A predator thought he could get away with it. He couldn't, because Marilyn Monroe saw and acted, and in 3 minutes, she ended his career, protected a girl, and created a policy that saved thousands. That's not heroism, that's revolution. Bronson died forgotten in 1985. Marilyn Monroe died famous in 1962. But Marilyn's legacy lives in every harassment policy, every hotline, every survivor who speaks up, because real power isn't silence, it's protection. And Marilyn Monroe protected until her last breath.